Hello and thanks for joining us on Nationwide today on the network service of the NTA. I'm Elizabeth Omori. We are reaching you live from Abuja. Let's begin with the assurance of the federal government that the country is not under whatsoever kind of threat to lose any of its assets as been interpreted by the media. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed made this clarification at a media briefing in Abuja. Anthony Forson has details.
Accompanied by his counterpart from Justice, Abubakar Malami, and that of Finance, Budget and Planning, Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed, along with the Central Bank Governor, Godwin Emefiele. Lai Mohammed narrated the history of a contract between the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources and a foreign firm, Process and Industrial Development, which has led to a UK court authorizing the seizure of a $9.6 billion assets belonging to Nigeria. The minister explained that in 2010, a 20-year gas supply processing agreement was entered into with P&ID, which the company never performed as agreed. The minister further explained that the contract, having suffered a setback, went to the arbitration court, where Nigeria was said to have breached the contract.
After the arbitration award in 2017, Nigeria made several attempts to negotiate the award and resolve the whole issue amicably with P&ID, but to no avail, which eventually led to the enforcement proceedings instituted simultaneously by the company in both the US and the UK.
While Nigeria has recorded some measure of success in the case in US, it became clear that the ruling in favor of P&ID were clearly unreasonable and manifestly excessive and exorbitant.
We want to place on record that the federal government views with serious concerns the underhanded manner in which the contract was negotiated and signed. Despite the recent recognition of the award by a UK court, and contrary to some reports, Nigeria is not, and I repeat, is not about to lose any of its assets to P&ID. There is no imminent threat to Nigeria's assets.
On their part, the Minister of Justice and that of Finance and Budget Planning, as well as the CBN Governor, called on Nigerians to remain resolute as the federal government is determined to protect the citizens' common inheritance.
So when you conceived, sign and execute a contract for the supply of gas products without involving IOCs, NPDC, and NNPC as a party to that agreement, you know very well that there are a lot of questions to answer arising from the execution of that agreement.
For us in the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, we take comfort from the efforts that so far have been put in place by the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice to ensure that this judgment is set aside, because the consequences will be unpleasant for each and every Nigerian. And I hope our brothers and sisters in the press will help fight the cause of our country. We'll be doing that not just for this administration, but for our children and our children's children.
We have gone through our records. We don't have any information in our records to show that this company brought in 1 cent into this country. Time has come when Nigerians must rise against incidents of people alleging to be doing contract in Nigeria without investing a penny, all with an intention to defraud our country. The money that they want to take is the money that is our own common wealth that belongs to all of us. But it is very sad that you will find some Nigerian collaborators with some foreign interest under bogus intentions trying to defraud this country. If they have proof of their investment, we are calling on them to please come forward and provide us proof of how they invested money in this project.
For now, the federal government has initiated criminal investigation into the matter to ascertain the sincerity behind the initiation of the contract in the first place, as the Federal Minister of Petroleum Resources is not in the right position to go into such contractual agreements. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
And still on issues of national concern, the federal government's plans to review the revenue allocation sharing formula has been described as timely by discussants on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria. Chairman, Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, Elias Mbam, who was also on the program, says the planned review will take into consideration all submissions by stakeholders. Ekemini Williams has details.
Current revenue sharing formula allocates 52.68% to the federal government, 26.72% to states, and 20.60% to local governments. Agitation has been mounting over the years for a review of this formula for diverse reasons, and discussants on Good Morning Nigeria agree with this, but insist that it must be through due process.
The proposal is supposed to be sent to the executive, and the executive will send to the legislative arm for proper legislative work. But that has not been done. You will not understand the problems of our people if you don't allow those who are directly involved to do the distribution of our resources.
The discussants suggested that the review should be geared towards stimulating the development of the economy, especially as government is committed to pulling people out of poverty.
Some of the things that are in the exclusive legislative list are too bogus. We could devolve a lot of other things to the lower levels, which are very closer to the people. But if you are reviewing, you must review also certain operational realities that will ensure transparency, accountability, and that these resources are actually utilized for the purpose of economic development and ensuring a better standard of living for our people.
They also advised against politicizing the process and stressed the need for autonomy of the different tiers of government to be respected.
The local government across the country should be able to have the largest share and let them give the local government the complete autonomy to control their resources.
It is not those that have the highest allocation. Ability of the user is another thing. So there is no way the revenue allocation formula will change the character of a leader. Work on your character to be able to deliver.
Discussants also called for strengthening of the Financial Intelligence Unit to ensure probity and accountability. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
Away from revenue allocation, Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has urged broadcast outfits to use the platforms to promote love and unity, apart from informing and entertaining the populace. The minister, who was represented by the Director of Public Communication and National Orientation, Priscilla Ihoma, at the 5th annual lecture of the Nigerian Broadcasting Commission in Abuja, commended the Commission for this year's theme, Contemporary Challenges of the Nigerian State, Need for Constructive Broadcasting, considering the state of the country.
As broadcasters, we are expected to encourage the populace to partner with the government in finding solutions to the myriad of challenges facing our dear country, Nigeria, from corruption, infrastructural deficit, to criminality. Accordingly, the broadcast industry owes it a duty to Nigerians to use its platform to encourage productivity, patriotism, national unity, and cohesion.
The event is aimed at encouraging broadcasters to be more responsible and responsive to trends and development. To other matters, the United States of America has revised visa reciprocity for Nigerians, as Nigerian citizens will be required to pay a visa issuance fee or reciprocity fee for all approved applications for non-immigrant visas in B, F, H-1B, I, L, and R visa classifications with effect from 29th of August. In a statement released by the Embassy of the United States of America Press Office, the reciprocity fee will be charged in addition to the non-immigrant visa application fee, also known as the MRV fee, which all applicants pay at the time of application. Nigerian citizens whose applications for a non-immigrant visa are denied will not be charged the new reciprocity fee. Both reciprocity and MRV fees are non-refundable and their amounts vary based on visa classification. The reciprocity fee will be required for all Nigerian citizens worldwide, regardless of where they are applying for the non-immigrant visa to the United States. The reciprocity fee is required for each visa that is issued, which means both adults and minors whose visa applications are approved will be charged the reciprocity fee. The fee can only be paid at the U.S. Embassy or to the U.S. Consulate General. The reciprocity fee cannot be paid at banks or any other location. For details of the implementation of reciprocity fees for Nigerian visas, please visit ng.usembassy.gov/visa/non-immigrant visas and www.ustraveldocs.com/ng. This is Nationwide on a network service of the NTA. Time now to link up with Dotun Oguyemi in the mega city, Lagos, for more reports on Nationwide. Hello, Dotun.
Hello, Elizabeth, and Benny, thanks for joining us in Lagos. Former Governor of Abia State and Senator representing Abia North, Orji Uzor Kalu, has appeared before Justice Mohammed Idris of the Federal High Court, Lagos, to continue his trial on fraud allegations. Senator Kalu was in court on a 39-count charge brought against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Abolore Obara has the report of court proceedings.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, is prosecuting Senator Uzor Kalu, his former Commissioner for Finance, Jones Udeogu, and his company, Slok Nigeria Limited, on an alleged 7.6 billion naira fraud. In his defense, the defense counsel, Awa Kalu, walked Senator Kalu through evidences given by witnesses before the court. Senator Kalu confirmed to the court that the evidences had nothing to do with him while facing a trial. Uzor Kalu told the court that he never authorized any unlawful transaction when he was governor of Abia State from May 29, 1999 to May 29, 2007. Senator Kalu also told the court that Slok Nigeria Limited has over 14 billion naira balance sheet. He said that he is not solely the owner of Slok Nigeria Limited and that he resigned from the company in 1998. EFCC counsel Adebisi Adeniyi told the court that Senator Uzor Kalu's statements are beyond the evidences. Senator Kalu denied having any input in all the evidences presented to him at the court. The case has been adjourned to the 28th of August for further hearing. In Lagos, Abolore Ogbara, NT News.
The 3-month window period issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria to banks for customers across the country to replace their mutilated naira notes with new ones is gradually approaching expiration date. Nenrot Nina Musa, who went to town to feel the pulse of the people, reports that they are asking for an extension of the period.
The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, had opened a 3-month window from June 3rd to September 2nd for customers across the country to replace their mutilated naira notes with new ones across all banks. Reacting to the directive, Lagos residents applaud the initiative but are of the view that the public has not gotten enough sensitization. Hence, they plead for an extension.
To help our currency to be very okay, like all these bad notes that people are complaining outside. So if they don't give it out again, it will reduce.
Some economic analysts said the initiative will help improve the image of the naira notes.
There have been mutilated notes around, and that does not speak well for the image of the country because it is important that we carry fit notes, even health-wise. So they launched the clean note policy. The only condition that I would propose for any extension, not beyond September, will be that campaign to the rural area was not done in the first place. But if it's done, they made a judgment call.
They could collect the old notes, not really in exchange of new notes, but to credit one's value and encourage a situation where we carry less cash.
They believe that if the exercise is duly carried out and sustained, it will further strengthen the economy. In Lagos, Narot Nina Musa, NTA News.
The Nigerian Army is strengthening its relationship with the civil community towards achieving its core mandate of combating security challenges in the country. At a town hall meeting in Lagos, it was agreed that understanding the Army's mode of operations is key to fostering symbiotic relationship. Michael Olale reports.
The intervention of the military in internal security is not accidental, but a deliberate attempt to strengthen peaceful coexistence and neutralize any act capable of undermining the growth and peaceful coexistence of the country. In its quest of fulfilling this mandate, there have been alleged violation of fundamental human rights and disregard for the rule of law. This town hall meeting is seeking to correct the misconception by setting the record straight that the civil community holds the key to the military achieving its constitutional mandate.
We want a situation where it could be reported that Private so-so person or Captain so-so person has done this or that, and the military, being a disciplined force, has taken so-so action against that person.
With the establishment of the Directorate of Civil Military Affairs and Human Rights Desk, the Nigerian Army no doubt is aligning with new trend in fighting terrorism without impeding on the rights of the populace.
There should be balance in the proportion of force for the military when we are out there, prioritize protection of innocent and vulnerable, follow clear objectives and ensure strict compliance.
The Department of State Service wants personnel of the armed forces to exhibit high level of tolerance and professionalism in the discharge of their duty.
Bad acts will not be allowed to go unpunished, and where the civilian is the offender, military authorities should obey the rule of law accordingly.
The town hall meeting is one of the contributions of the Nigerian Army 81 Division at establishing seamless synergy with members of the public. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NT News.
And that's our contribution from Lagos. Nationwide continues after the break.
As part of his vision of developing a core of well-trained workforce to sustain the fight against corruption in Nigeria, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in conjunction with the Nigerian Defense Academy, NDA, is set to mark the passing of parade of cadets of the EFCC Detective Superintendent Course 8 from the Nigerian Defense Academy, Kaduna, which will take place on Saturday, August 31, 2019, at the Nigerian Defense Academy, NDA Parade Ground, Ribadu Campus, Kaduna. Time, 8:30 in the morning. The event shall be preceded by a cocktail at the NDA Cadets Mess, Ribadu Campus, Kaduna, on Friday, August 30, 2019. Time is 7 o'clock in the evening. Reviewing officer, His Excellency, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari. Chief Host, Governor of Kaduna State, His Excellency, Governor Nasir El Rufai. For further inquiries, please contact 0803-314-6970 or 0812-382-9569. Please note that both events are strictly by invitation.
Next Level Agenda and the mandate of the new ministers in focus this week on NTA Tuesday Live. The program every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. promises to be incisive and informative. Don't miss it.
They are there at the crack of dawn. They are there busy preparing while we rise for our day. They are there silently, guarding, waiting, listening, and watching. They are there ready in the sky above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of the sovereignty of our country. They are our first line of defense and our last. They who have paid the ultimate price in defending us. They are fathers and uncles. They are mothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends. They are brothers and cousins and best friends and neighbors. They are classmates, colleagues, and citizens of this nation. They are our defenders and deserve our respect, our prayers, our thoughts. Nigeria, please support our armed forces.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Please, did you hear that?
Of course I did. That is village master tune.
Eh? So, Auntie Amebo was not gossiping then?
Village master is celebrating 50 years.
50? Already? This is not a joke.
It is a national celebration. NTA and Village master family are commemorating 50 years.
Hey, please, tell me, when is our golden jubilee?
It is from the 8th to 11th of October, 2019.
I have to go and get ready. It's time to party.
Women. But we, men, will be there too.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the immediate termination of appointment of Reverend Tor Uja as Executive Secretary, Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission. A statement signed by the Director Information in the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Willie Bassi, indicates that this is in line with the provision of Section 4, Subsection 3 of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission Act. Reverend Uja has therefore been directed to hand over to Mrs. Esther Kwage, Director of Administration in the Commission, who is to oversee the office pending the appointment of a substantive Executive Secretary. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation to work out an appropriate framework for the operation of offshore accounts maintained by the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission and all other federal government agencies in order to streamline their operations. And now to security. The effectiveness with which a fighting force manages its information could be determined by how its personnel fight, how the adverse responses, as well as the populace on both sides react to the circumstances. In view of this, the Nigerian Air Force is updating its information management strategies in line with global standards to cope with the dynamic media climate. Correspondent Najato Tijani reports from the NAF Strategic Perception Workshop.
Information management continues to play a critical role in military operations at all levels, especially in the fight against insurgency. These information officers from various commands of the Nigerian Air Force are now set to learn new ways of handling the sensitive information they deal with daily. The Chief of the Air Staff, in a message to the officers, says this is a crucial step in reflecting to taxpayers their perception of the Nigerian Air Force as a responsible organization.
Your contribution to the troops that are fighting in the field will not only be for destruction of Boko Haram as they are composed now, which is why I also think it is important for us to have some foundation of those concepts, strategic and perception.
Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola is the Director of Public Relations and Information with years of experience. He understands this power of perception and the danger of mismanaging information in this social media age.
To be a message to the civil populace that lets them know that your military is with you, with you in this fight to ensure that you are safe and secure.
In addition to exposing the information personnel of the service to meet with global best practices in strategic perception management, it is expected that they will learn new techniques in media and social change. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
And out to agriculture. To halt importation and meet domestic demand, rice farmers in Nigeria are set to encourage local production and improve their yields. President, Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria gave the indication when he visited Refund Warehouse in Kaduna. Sulaiman Abdullah Rikachikun reports.
To further achieve its policy towards food sufficiency, the federal government placed a ban on forex for importation of foodstuff, an initiative applauded by rice farmers who were among the worst hit by the previous importation of the commodity. The visit by the president of Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria, Refund, Alhaji Aminu Goronyo, to Kaduna is a fact-finding one to assess the level of development in rice production, recovery of loans being granted to farmers, and the progress being made on processing, milling, and packaging of rice in line with world best practices.
We are ready and ever ready to confirm to Nigerians that we are prepared to portray to Nigerians that we have more than enough to feed Nigerians.
From 2015 to date, there is an increase of production of about 12 million tons. In 2015, the production of maize it was only 8 million tons. But as at last year, 2018, we have 20 million tons, which you can see the difference.
The team is scheduled to visit all state chapters of Refund to ensure compliance with the presidential directive towards food sufficiency in Nigeria. In Kaduna, I am Suleiman Abdullah Hirgachku, NTA News.
Now, National Orientation Agency is again bringing people together for a broader look on conflict resolution and management. The agency's Director General says extensive outreach is key to achieving peace. Kunle Adeye reports.
National Orientation Agency is engaging these key players who have great tasks ahead in managing and resolving conflicts in some parts of the country and ultimately prevent such in the future. From one resource person to the other, good leadership at all levels, they say, is key. Brigadier General Samuel Ogbuanya feels managing and resolving conflicts in the present day need peer review mechanism.
If this type of course is regularly conducted, many people will be aware of what is happening and they will know what to do.
Ibrahim Buba, a media practitioner, is of the opinion that members of the fourth estate of the realm play critical roles during crisis.
I believe this is a strong measure put in place by the government in order to address the issue of conflict and conflict crisis in our dear country, Nigeria.
We have worked severally and we continue to work on many fronts on addressing issues of national concern, especially at moments like this, when our country is passing through so many nation-building challenges.
The workshop also focused on developing human capital to guarantee a safe society. In Abuja, Kunle Adeye, NTA News.
Edo State Police Command confirms dismissal of erring officers. Let's now join Obey in our Benin Network Center for details of this and other reports from that axis. Hello, Obey.
Hello, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us in Benin. The Edo State Task Force Against Human Trafficking has given its scorecard of the last 2 years' fight against human trafficking in the state. This was at a media briefing in Benin City. Udwakobong Achibong reports.
In 2017, Edo State government inaugurated a task force against human trafficking against the background of the prevalence of the issue, with over 50% of the cases recorded in the state. 2 years down the line, the task force, which has been involved in advocacy, investigation and prosecution, as well as data collection, has so far received a total of 4,943 returnees, out of which 3,329 are males, 1,400 females, and 214 children.
We are very elated by the fact that NAPTIP has adopted our approach and has actually gone around advocating for other states to come up with their own task forces.
The task force has, however, been scrutinized in one of the nation's dailies as allegedly being fraudulent in providing names of returnees for a training program in Benin City in May this year, and inflating 7.4 million naira ID card project for the returnees. Professor Morogbe described the allegation titled Second Journey to Armageddon as false.
You had returnees coming to make certain statements, but you find that the very next week the same returnees came, and the statements, if you read it, you could see that, oh, they now suddenly remembered that they had been assisted.
The second anniversary of the existence of the Edo State Task Force Against Human Trafficking is a platform to acknowledge the support of international agencies. In Benin, Udakobong Achibong, NTA News.
3 police officers of Edo State Police Command who allegedly lost their guns to criminals in Benin City have been dismissed from the force and are now facing criminal charges. The State Police Public Relations Officer Chidu Wambuzo confirmed the development at the command's headquarters in Benin City. Again, Udrakobong Achibong reports.
When the news of the lost guns of the police officers attached to Abaizigan came to the notice of the State Police Command, the officers claimed they were under attack. However, investigation revealed that the 3 officers, one a sergeant, the other a corporal, and a constable, were not in possession of their guns when the incident occurred.
By the time Corporal Akim Michael and Police Constable Jimo Halilu came back, they discovered that both guns belonging to them were taken, but that of Sergeant Emmanuel Uzo, who appeared to be their sectional head, his gun was kept there untouched. So the police began to suspect foul play.
The Edo State Police Command wants the public to know that the affected officers are no more in the police force as they have been charged to court. Meanwhile, the State Police Public Relations Officer Chidi Nwabuzo has reacted to the news of the alleged kidnap of the Chief Medical Director of Specialist Hospital area in Benin this Monday.
We are yet to ascertain the position of the occupant of the vehicle. So once we are done with that, the command will make it available to the news.
The incident is said to have occurred around Ramat Park in Benin. Urakobong Achibong, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Benin. Nationwide continues in Abuja. Elizabeth, it's over to you.
Thank you so much, Obey. This year's rainy season in Niger State has taken its toll on some critical infrastructure, including roads and bridges. Dauda Mohammed reports that the senator representing Niger South in the National Assembly, Mohammed Bima Enagi, while inspecting some of the damaged infrastructure, called for a holistic approach in the repairs.
Apart from the damage on the busy Mina-Bida road, which has caught the attention of most residents of Mina, the Niger State capital, other roads have equally been affected by this year's flood. Senator Mohammed Bima Enagi, representing Niger South in the National Assembly, while on an inspection visit to some damaged roads in Kacha local government area, was also caught up in a gridlock on the Badegi axis of one of the bridges in the area.
Something has to be done. We have to do the best we can to ensure that these roads are maintained. We'll talk to the federal government, we'll talk to the state government, we'll talk to farmer. I am aware that this road has been awarded, the reconstruction of this road has been awarded.
Senator Mohammed Bima Enagi also inspected 3 washed-out portions on the Badegi-Kacha Road at Yenti and Egiworo, which was constructed about 7 years ago. The federal lawmaker was also at Bakogi, where the village head, Garba Mohammed, intimated him on the bridge, which is gradually collapsing.
It has collapsed. Virtually, vehicles cannot pass here presently. I have seen the place. Everybody has seen the place. We have taken photographs, and we'll do our best when we get back. We'll draw the attention of government to this bridge.
Senator Mohammed Bima Enagi had earlier visited Jaagi village in Mokwa local government area to sympathize with them over a recent misunderstanding which led to destruction of property, including cars and motorcycles. He appealed for calm and urged all the warring parties to embrace peace. Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
And Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Senator Motayo Alasho-Adura, says in the current technological and advancement in the world, it is apt to develop, explore, adopt and deploy technology in the public sector in order to meet today's need and the future. The minister stated this at a two-day productivity and innovation summit with the theme leveraging on e-governance as a vehicle for increasing productivity and improving public service delivery. Herman Jabani reports.
The Public Sector Productivity and Innovation Summit, put together by the National Productivity Center and its partners, is for the wide implementation of Nigeria's e-government master plan 2020, and it seeks to highlight the link between e-government and the productivity in Nigeria, how it will improve service delivery. The summit will showcase the progress made as a public sector in providing essential and social service in meeting the demands and expectations of the citizens while using electronic and digital tools and processes. Stakeholders in the public and ICT sectors say these enabling technologies can transform government productivity and creating the market for new skill, knowledge and job in a complementary way through which government institutions will be able to do more with less energy but delivering greater output with the desirable speed and precision.
If we are not running at the speed we should run, I think this type of workshop that is being organized there today, we highlight all those things, and it will bring the problems we are having into the fore so that government can tackle them headlong. We need to be technology compliant in all spheres of our endeavors.
We have brought experts from various organizations, experts in e-governance, experts in IT, and experts in productivity. So the knowledge and ideas they garner from here today will invariably tell on the productivity in their various offices.
Without IT, the myriad of problems that are facing the country and the services will not be overcome. Working hard is not good enough any longer. It's about working smart.
And already we have substantially made way on e-governance in our organization, in my university. So what we are going to get here is an addition to what we have already had, and it will improve our service.
The two-day summit will also look at the impact of new technologies on productivity, peace and security, as well as offering innovation strategies for a more productive public sector, on the need to widen entrepreneurship training in schools. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
Plateau State Government seeks $30 billion bond for critical sector. For more on this and other reports, let's join Felicia in Jos. Hello, Felicia.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Welcome to Jos. Plateau State Government is seeking a 30 billion naira bond to enable it implement its legacy projects that touch all critical sectors of the state's economy. Governor Lalong gave this indication when he met with stakeholders from the state and private sectors on the funding of the legacy projects launched more than 1 year ago. Ndayan Andayabagyang reports.
The governor, who reiterated his determination to leave a lasting legacy in the state, said he remains unshaken as it is a central point of his rescue agenda. He expressed delight that the quest for private sector funding of the project is receiving adequate response and will go a long way in helping the completion of the project. Accountant General of the state, Cyril Senyil, who led the team, explains the rationale behind the bond and its benefits to the people of Plateau State.
Remember, this lifespan of this government will expire in 2023, and it needs to complete some of these projects. So we are discussing with people, investors that will come in and be able to complete some of these major projects. Because if it's completed, if they are completed, these 6 comprehensive hospitals will impact on the lives of people of that. These 6 comprehensive hospitals will impact on the lives of people of that state. These 8 comprehensive primary schools, we've never seen those kind of models again. So they are all scattered across the state. So what we are doing is just a discussion that we are going to look for people that will come in to help to be able to deliver these projects for the people of Plateau State.
The bond will be raised in tranches with 10 billion naira as the first installment. Indenyan and Abuja, NTA News.
The Industrial Training Fund is deliberating on digital technologies and human resource analytics as tools for organizational excellence in a quest to reposition the fund to maintain its status as the foremost human capital development institution in the country. Alisa Watukaye Andrew reports that this was at the fund's 51st Human Development Seminar Series.
The Human Resource Development Seminar provides the workforce of the fund with the latest issues in human resource management. Director General, Industrial Training Fund, Joseph Ari said the fund is poised to revamp and address the deployment of digital technologies to manage workforce.
These transformations impact us as an institution. Have we adapted and responded appropriately? This forum will attempt to address these posers, bearing in mind the fact that the fund positions itself and aspires to be viewed as the foremost human capital development institution in Nigeria.
The Human Resource Development Seminar dwelt on analytics as tools for excellence to streamline processes across the employee's life cycle.
What we need to do is to get ahead of the trend, understand where technology is going, and build the skills and the capability to drive that technology and harness it for the betterment of our society.
Expect to, have an understanding of some of the new areas that we need to look out for so that we can make ourselves relevant.
The national deliberations is geared towards relevance and current values of the team, digital technologies and human resource analytics, tools for organizational excellence. In Jos, Alisa Batukai Andrew, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Jos. It's back to you, Elizabeth, in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Felicia. Now let's take you to Kano, where beneficiaries of Households Uplifting Program under the National Conditional Cash Transfer have saved more than 80 million naira with introduction of group savings mobilization. This came to the fore during the mid-year review meeting in Kano. The reports.
The program is aimed at providing succor among the downtrodden, particularly poverty reduction, improving health and education in poor communities. In Kano State, more than 50,000 people benefited from the program from 15 out of the 44 local government areas of the state in 1,888 communities. The Cash Transfer Unit Kano, however, organized a mid-year review meeting to identify successes and challenges with a view to addressing them.
They have more active about business.
Save their money in the bank and they know how to do a small business in their locality.
Representative from the National Cash Transfer Office called on other states to take a cue from Kano in view of successes recorded particularly in group mobilization and savings.
Going by what Kano State's cash transfer units and the SOKU are doing, then we are confident that at the end of the year, Kano State beneficiaries in Kano State will reach 100,000 mark.
The government is ready to give them, because I've heard of some of their logistics, some of the problems they've been encountering from the SOKO office to NCTO office, which I told them that government is ready to give them all the necessary supports.
More than 500 million naira is targeted for July and August payment. In Kano, Yahana Sahasambaro, NTA News.
Now, let's now go to Ibadan, where Kemi is standing by for more reports. It's nice to see you, Kemi.
To Elizabeth, and welcome to Ibadan. To develop a practical and innovative solution to improve the current state of healthcare in the state, the Kwara State government has organized a two-day health symposium. Raliat Ibrahim reports that the theme for the symposium is Partnership for Health Innovation towards creating a sustainable health system.
The symposium is deployed to come up with short, medium and long-term solutions to revamp the health sector in the state with a view to deliver affordable and qualitative health care system to the people. The meeting therefore brought together both local and international healthcare experts with emphasis on designing a problem-based and solution-oriented healthcare system.
The onus is on us to make the health of this state to be affordable, accessible, and of the right quality.
I believe strongly that the Kwara State could be the model of healthcare with the support that we have nationally and locally.
The state governor, Abdurrahman Abdulrazak, represented by his deputy, Kayode Alabi, emphasized that the state's healthcare system requires urgent attention.
Yes, we have some structures scattered across the states, but what makes a good hospital is not the structure. It is the presence of qualified and adequate health workers, basic facilities, and drugs.
He expressed confidence that the outcome of the symposium will chart a course for a roadmap that will make the state a destination health center in the country. Raliat Ibrahim, NTA News.
Political restructuring and confederalism have been identified as solutions to issues of insecurity, ethnic bias, and other political challenges facing the nation. A professor of comparative politics and former Vice-Chancellor of Nigerian University, Okada, Professor Egosa Esage, stated this at a forum in Ibadan. Funke Bidamiton was there and now reports.
With the topic, What Man Has Joined Together, Emmanuel Egosa Esage described Nigeria's current state of ethnicity, federalism, and state politics as a product of colonialism, which has over the years subjected the nation to divisive tendencies, ethnic and religious bias, leading to some of the nation's current challenges. He called for a paradigm shift in terms of restructuring that will reclaim the autonomy and right to self-determination already lost to globalization.
We must have a viable, homegrown intellectual industry, and that capacity has to be expanded at the tertiary level, especially at the university level.
The Vice-Chancellor and others described the lecture as a roadmap to political stability.
No nation is ideal. There will always be tensions, stresses, because you talk of restructuring and all that. It now depends on what you want to make out of it.
Depends on the people involved in restructuring, in federalism, the central government, the state government, and the local government.
The lecture is the 7th to be delivered by the Political Science Department of the University of Ibadan. Funke Bidamiton, NTA News.
410 brand new generators, 564 liters of engine oil, and other items have been recovered from a gang of suspected armed robbers. Correspondent Adebola Ogulano reports on these and other breakthroughs of Oyo State Police Command.
Oyo State Commissioner of Police Shina Olukolu paraded 28 suspected gangs, among who were 6 armed robbery cases, 3 burglary, 1 conniver, 2 rapists, and a kidnapper. Items in their possession include 24 arms, 23 live ammunitions, 8 vehicles, and 15 motorcycles. The 6-man gang was said to have specialized in hijacking trailers loaded with goods, and their last operation worth about 40 million naira. A 47-year-old man who specialized in receiving stolen motorcycles was also paraded, among others, for various crimes.
But I want to assure members of the public that we will continue to carry out diligent investigation to ensure that people of his kind are not allowed any breathing space in the state.
Commissioner of Police Shina Olukolu assures the members of the public that the command will not relent in its hours on zero tolerance to have a crime-free society in Ibadan. Adebola Ogulano, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. More reports on Nationwide after the break.
The Nigerian national flag is a sacred national symbol. It is a mark of patriotism and a show of love for our nation to fly the national flag correctly, in the right colors, right dimension, and in the right sizes for each occasion. In recent times, it has been noticed that government offices, corporate organizations, banks, embassies, and other notable institutions fly faded, shredded, and haggard-looking versions of the national flag. This is wrong and must stop. It has also been noticed that some citizens prefer to popularize the national flag of other nations. Fellow countrymen and women, let us be patriotic. Come, let us show love for our motherland. Fly the correct versions of our national flag in all relevant places. Be patriotic. Be proud ambassadors of our great country.
This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA. Get the latest news and updates from across Nigeria on NTA Nationwide. NTA Nationwide, weekdays by 4 p.m. Get it first, get it fresh.
Nice to know you're still there. Now to sports. Nigeria begins medal sweep in weightlifting events of the African Games. Tamara Ibiwe, who is in Rabat, Morocco, has this and more on